Well, federal prosecutors are on duty in Idaho tonight, taking calls of alleged election fraud and voter rights violations. KXLY4's Erik Loney spoke to attorneys about the types of calls they're receiving.
Federal prosecutors in Idaho say they receive about a dozen complaints every election day alleging cheating or fraud with the election process. We're at a polling place here in Post Falls where it appears voter turnout is pretty heavy today. Now, U.S. Attorney Nancy Cook is taking calls here in North Idaho for the U.S. Attorney's Office. Cook told us on the phone today she received very few complaints of problems in this area, and most complaints do not garner federal involvement. She said most allegations are just directed to the county's election office for correction. Now, the last complaint of voter fraud in this area was made by Coeur d'Alene City Council candidate Jim Brannon last election. He alleged people outside the city had voted in the election and he wanted a new election. Now, but a Kootenai County judge, after a trial, tossed out a couple votes and said that there was no reason for a new election, and incumbent Mike Kennedy retained his seat on the city council, winning by just 3 votes. Now, federal prosecutors are standing by on the phones here in North Idaho, Southern Idaho, and Eastern Idaho all day long, taking calls. Now, the U.S. Attorney for Idaho, Wendy Olson, said voter fraud is a crime against the individual and the country, and will be dealt with promptly and aggressively. Now, if you suspect or see voter fraud, you are urged to call the FBI or here in North Idaho, the federal prosecutor at 208-667-6568. The U.S. Attorney said the public's help is critical in protecting the sanctity of the ballot box. In Post Falls, Erik Loney, KXLY4 HD News.